Coming into rotation wind cycles, communications of all levels. Plant rotation communication cycle line centers. In position, I draw out a communication line center position to the gravities and its locks. It's releasing all its pistons right now. A piston to a rotation is the atom's surface. It's understanding how to communicate with the ground line center. I set up a very powerful drawing that's happening right now and how we're all connected to the crystalline interference position. So basically, this is how it works. Imagine you're in the center of the gravity lines and your seismograph position location. Depending where your energy field is set in position, it comes into the sun graph line system and everything through all levels of the programs of the moon. So the moon has to stand the behavior line center, which is its crystalline position, and everything the sun has to understand you through radiation. Okay, it's recycling to its connection to gravities of its planets. So it connects to all levels of the grounds. So it's weeding its system, the gravities and its pistons high rise in its position, right? So we come into the cold surface. It's understanding the moist of the gravities and position line center, understanding locations of center locations, understanding activations through all levels. So the earth line center and its communication cycles is a level of a regenerator of a computer. It high forces position locations. Okay, so it's amazing how we come into this track line system. So all our feet rotations and our center line systems, our knee gap rotation position locations, and everything through our waist is high position to the ground line system. You understand your circle rotation, how it's connected to your E-field line system. Okay, so before we get started, thank all subscribers and viewers and watching my channel. We keep on high rising to its connection line system. I have to get this out because Father came to me last night and went into my eye circle line center, and I got codes from electricities. Now these codes are a center line is positioned to its gravity locked center. So it comes to me in every way and form, and what I need to do with the gravities. The next is the power of you, and then everything through the atmospheres. So the three singles of line system to location is all line channeling. Okay, remember coming into the indifference to its difference, to its understanding of what it is. Humanity has to get out of these tracks and get more into the activation center through its electronic interference. All right, so you have to understand all positions and what happens with vibration. Okay, it's a rotation spin, and it's going to go through an atom line. Now, the atom line is set up to its position location to its gravities. Okay, so we come into the planetarian line center. Okay, yes, we're going to be going to the clarion calls of the Sumerians. Okay, all position line connections already set through codes, but I have to get this out because this came to me through Father. So it's amazing how you track your systems. Your eyes are the circles of the windows of the soul. So you have to understand your eyes are everything through frame. So it's a projecting of its projector. So it's like Father gives me documents and documents and documents of information. If there are channels on so many levels of interference, position locations to universe systems. You guys are on one track of a universe, which one solar system, one yellow sun, and one communication of a planet location of the moon, right? That's what everybody has. But you understand the sun and the moon and everything through the grounds has to be at 5D. So this is all about understanding channel. Okay, when you come into the indifference to its difference to its understanding. So humanity understands its locking system, understanding its gravity suit line center, and everything through position is all about your E fields and its location. All right. So once we come into that position, you understand more of what's happening to that line system. All right. So I set up an illustration for everybody just to truly understand what's going on with the grounds right now. The atom rotations and the pistons is releasing the gravity locks, which is really powerful. Okay, so when you see this, it's already activated, it's already done. Okay, I don't think people really understand what happens when you go into the future and you present something in the presence of its past. Truly understand these things. Don't understand my voicing grids, just understand your body. That's a true understanding where you get full communication of the grounds. If you don't have full communication of the grounds, how are you supposed to meditate? As soon as you plant your system, if I'm standing in location, this is me, right? I'm standing here. This is me, right? I'm standing right here. So you understand the grounds. It's the vibration that just... So all your body track line systems, electrical lights, heart recycle, everything, the mind gap position locations, energy lights, the crop circle rotations, everything, the connection to the crown chakras, all line signals, body track systems, flux capacitor location is coming into high division to 5D traction. So that's what's happening right now. So when you meditate, you have to truly understand what's going on. Meditation is number one. We already know that. But it's a breathing mechanism of force. It's like grounds breathe. The power atmosphere position of nature's breathe. Trees breathe. Okay? So it's truly understand what is connected to that positions. So we're all connected to one line signal, to one atom rotation, to one location, to one compilation. The ground center is all in position. It's in levitation line centers. It's in its clocking system of its atom rotation line position. Okay, so I'll show you through traction what it looks like so you get a better understanding. All right, so your whole body is going to vibrate. It's going to go. Now you hear the vibration, but you also hear the. So you have to understand how to get in communication cycle, line centers, and position location. The heart reactor has to understand communications to its pistons, right? So it's kind of like you guys have pistons in your feet, you're not aware of it. This is the ground lock system, the communication, which connects to all levels of your flexic capacitors, which connects to the gateways of Orion's belt. Your triangle location and its position is gravity's belts. Without your gravity belts, you'd be flying and floating. So the resistant position is its gravity position line center. It's connected to all your poles and your recognition of timers. You're in a clocking division location through a proactive system. Your TV receptions are coming into 5D channels. So the earth and the ground line center understand its feeding source. Okay, you're a mechanism of force within the line system to understand the track system to its locations. But this is what's happening right now, right? So I'll show you through frame to frame to frame so you get a better understanding. Okay, now this is all communications. Now the circle line center has 3 rotation circles. It's a sphere rotation, a half cycle. Okay, so it's like a sphere. It's a half a sphere. It's like an ice cream cone. So truly understand this. Okay, this is the connection to the earth line center you're on. Okay, this is where everybody is now. So truly understand how you operate the line system to its grounds and see the atoms, pistons, all level system changes track line center to its rotation system. It allocates position of time location and puts everybody into 5D division of TV reception. Okay, so everybody's here now. So it started here, now it's here. Right, so when it comes here, then it goes here, and then it goes here, then it goes here. So line tracks its gravity line connections. It interferences channels to its position locations. So once it goes to a higher level system, it's in its location and it stays there. It stays there. Okay, and then every 25 years, it changes its rotation, it changes its circulation, it changes its gravity line system. That's where humanity has to get into. To understand how to get in your meditation every grounds. Every time you walk, let's say you take 12 steps. Every time you take 12 steps, what are you doing? Right? There's 12 dimensions of time on a clock, your watch. Every time you take 12 steps, what are you doing? You're vortexing. So truly understand how to do these things through calculation. That's why you're given watches. Watches are teleportation device line systems. You have to truly understand the illumination light centers. You have to truly understand the pistons in you through gravity positions. Now, you don't have to know that, but what you do have to know is that gravity has to understand you through body traction. Your interference channels and your TV reception locations has to truly understand the electrical lights. It's all positions too, all levels. Your holograms, your interference channels, your matrix line systems, your brain lock interference channel location. So you have to truly understand what's happening with everybody, right? With the atom rotation. That's how the grounds work, okay? So once it comes into that positions, okay, so I'll show you exactly what it is. So we got, basically, you got 7 line connections of interference of pistons, okay? The pistons are below the line system. Now this track's about 5,000 feet under the grounds, all right? Let's put that in location, 5,000 feet, all right? 5,000 feet under the ground system. Now the crop circles are already allocated positions. They're shaped and positioned to planet locations. So let's go like this, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the pistons that are being released now, okay? So the ground lock is now released, and this puts everything in allocated position of the Earth into position line to its location. Okay, so it tracks a system of 5,000 feet below your Earth's surface of your feet, right? It's all connected to your crystalline. So the grounds has to truly understand you through crystallines on your body tracks. Your information and your Schumann resonance is coming into a stronger force position location. Your TV receptions are coming into higher lines of calculation. but you're awake to this, but not through the soul. So everybody has to be activated through the heart center line system. I take you out of your track connection, you come into your birth line system, or reset your computers back into your gravity line system. This changes your anti-gravity suits. And anti-gravity suits connects to your locations to the sun. This keeps you from heating line connections or interference positions to its pistons. The pistons and its gravity line system comes into its planetary line connection. It's trying to understand how it's forced through its reckoning, its time positions, right? So you're coming into 5D of grounds. So you understand everything has to levitate, right? So humanity is levitating because you're in the center line of its gap position locations, right? But the atom rotation comes from everything through connections of 5,000 feet below the line system. Now, when we set up crop circles to each country line system, it usually goes between 1,500 feet, 2,000 feet. It goes from 3,000 feet, 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, depending on the grounds. Every country has a different atmosphere locations. Now, it's reflection to the sun rotation line position. Now, once it opens its location center, it operates all levels of operation locations. Now, you got the sun location line system. You got the moon locations in its position line system. It comes into its high level system to its location, right? So it's like this. It starts off with this position. All right, so it has its circle, okay, and it has its cyclone fear line connection interference channel. So it opens up with tractions, and it comes into higher line system to its location. It puts it into this position location, right? So it's true to understand when you come into that calculation, the program's sent it to the moon, the program's sent it to the sun, comes into the line center to its rotation position. And there's the intelligence of its location, all right? So truly understanding what's happening with the earth lines, but everything through the release in the gravity line and its pistons is now to higher level conditions. So it's high level of its levitation. Okay? That's what's happening right now. So humanity has to get into formation to its communication, really connect to the grounds. Okay? The cycle winds, the oscillation graphs, communication cycles, rotation to its position location. Now, once you understand its connection, you come into high-level systems of the flux capacitor. Its line signals back into the ground line system, its location. All right? Now, once it operates its position, you come into Orion's belt. 3 waving cycles, and this puts everybody into the center of its position to all levels of 5E traction. All right? So that's what we have to get to. We have to get to the center, okay, of Orion's belt. The gateway interference channel then becomes in the full rotation. The arc is set up. Now I got to set the gateways. Gateway or walkway to positions. So the interline conditions. So everybody's healed through that position goes to the walkway. It's an interline system of the tunnel. Okay, once you go through that position line conditions, you come into high level systems. So you get better communication of the grounds, the powers, and the atmosphere locations. Then your chakra system opens up to all levels of the flux capacitor. So it becomes into a new gateway line center to its location and dimensional line system. Okay, and they reference everything through the past and everything through the future. So it's all about understanding we all come into new past, new present, and new future. I say, what do you mean by that, Commander? Well, you have to truly understand that your past is finished. See, the thing is, you're starting a new cycle of a 5-dimensional line system. So you're coming into a new position. You have to have your past, your present, and your future. You can't leave it through cycles. So you're coming into new adventures, new time, new missions, new journeys. So you're going to have a new past, a new present, and a new future. And the gateway line interference to its grounds, to its powers, and its atmospheres of the magnetic line highway information line system to its location. It interlines its position to all level connections. Okay, it resists its coil line system. It releases its pistons to its flux capacitor location. High rises position in their center line system to its location and position. Opens up all gravity line centers to its connection. Opens all levels of its power line connections. Opens up a new E field location to a cylinder rotation. Okay, that's what's going to happen in all positions of a new past, new present, new future of 5 divisional line centers. Your clocking system is in a high-rise position of your computers, right? Your channel positions has to come into its computer lines. So it can activate everything through the reactors and its core-resisted line position channels. So this is where it gets really complicated. Well, you think it's complicated now, but trying to understand what's happening to that level system. You know, it's all about levitation of the earth and where it's going and why is it levitating. But this is what's going to happen. All right. So this is a new past, present, and future of you guys in the 5-dimensional line system. It's all calculated. So you have a new past, a new present, and a new future. You have to have that in its alignment. So that puts everybody in a different timeline, but in the same line system of its alignment location. Now it's confusing to position line systems, but truly understand that you're creating something new. You understand? Because this is how it works. Because you have your old past, you let it go. So the whole gateway system and the compilation line center has to understand its offense and defensive youth positions. You have to understand your grounds, your powers, and your atmospheres of what's going on and why you're levitating, why you're going high rise through its conditions. The gravity belt line center has to understand you through its indifference, to its difference, to its understanding. That's the importance you have to come across. So you're coming into a new division, a new cycle of a revelation, a new past. You have to have a new past. You can't have an old past, but this is the past of your 5D, which is a new cycle. This will put you into positions of the yin and yang. Okay? So it's very powerful how we come in these positions of time location to its locking system. All right? So it's really interesting to come in these positions. All right? So it's interesting. I'm just going to back force and show you exactly how it goes from one to another two. It's all position on line conditions. Your interaligned system has an energy bubble, right? And then you start it for this positions, 5,000 feet under the ground line center. Okay, from here to here, right? True to sound, everything is in frame position location. Now, didn't I say it's going to get more complicated? Right? It has to, because this is the new generation of light. This is illumination of light connections through a new body track system of your new body, which becomes its own TV reception. One communication, one signal, one coloration, one light, one program. That's where everybody's coming into. Now, the activation line system has to truly understand you through the heart cycle. That's the most important thing. When you come into 5-track systems, your heart opens up. Your third eye opens up. Your ears open up. The locking of your brain becomes a rotation of a stem position location, interlines and interlaces and interlocks your spine location to your placebos and your cortex. The precortex level is it's connected to its structure. It high rises your positions to its Orion's belt and its interference position locations. All right. So truly understand what you're getting into when you come into a new past, a new present, a new future through the flux capacitor to its cylinder rotation of a new ground line system. Okay. So it's interesting. Anyway, coming across these things, right? It's getting your questions. Buenos dias. Good morning. Yesterday I had a very good dream. Good morning, everyone. Yay. I'm so happy you can talk about fast. My brain is moving so fast today. I'm understanding too fast for my mind. You even talk slow. Thank you. Well, I don't want to talk too fast, but I have electrical lights, cloud interference come to me through Father. See, the thing is, even though I shut the blinds, it doesn't matter. Father comes to me and always informs. Inside or out, it doesn't matter because he's inside me. He's not outside me. He's inside. Same with Mother. So we have to understand our track connections. We have to interforce positions inside. So we have to understand how to change your own channels, how to activate our own position, right? To its relation to anything, to timelines or anything, connection, dimensions, and portals. Understand your codes and what you're doing, your code references and your code frequencies. You come into the log connections to your flux capacitor positions. So it's fascinating how you come into a new past, a new present, and new future. Do you understand that? Comprehend? Do you understand why you're coming into these positions? Right? So it's all about the Earth line center is coming into new rotation spin through a new humanity line connection to a new shape anomaly. Right? So what does that mean? What does that mean? Does anybody understand what that means? Can anybody tell me what that means? Why you have to have a new past? Because everything has to be brand new. And then realize you're creating something from the presence. And every time you're doing that, you go into the past. He's saying you're reflecting. You can't have your old programs. So we got new gateways of new positions to new locations of your past, present, and its future. So it's all set up for you guys. But you have to be activated and you have to go birth back into communications to Mother Earth. Right? It's very important why everybody has to be in that division. And it's very important to get into the healing line conditions. Okay, you can't do it through meditation. And like I said, my channels are going to get more difficult, but more understanding. That's why I want to high rise you guys faster to your chakras, so you start remembering why we're coming into a new cycle of the past, present, and future. Right? It doesn't make any sense if you're in a 5-dimensional line connections and you have your old programs of the past. That archive line system will change the cluster interference. So we don't want to do that to positions. So you guys got a whole new past, present, and future now. So it's up to you to move forward and understand its connection. So new data, the nukes level up. Yep. We are balancing everything. Yep. I'm activated and I feel it. See, that's the thing. And you're high rising your position, your minds, and everything you thoughts is moving faster through the connection of time locations, right? So, wow, eh? It's intense when you come to these levels of time location. It was raining all night last night, and Father was connecting on wave and cycles, opening my eye interference line position locations. Channel to high positions. Eye circle through rotations is the window soul of connection. Okay. So you graph your connections. So pretty soon, when you guys go into high level systems, the next test review and evaluations will put you into 60. Once you go into 60, you'll be able to understand how to scan planets. You guys have to understand how to get into your adaptation cycles and get in your present locations. So instead of seeing references of the past, you're going to see more of the presence of now into higher levels of intelligence. And that's why I want to put you into the clarion calls of Sumerians. Okay. That's true understanding how we come into this position location. It's already set up in position. They know you're going to be there. But when you see these things, okay, don't freak out. It's very powerful. You guys have to understand that we're in the present line center. Your gateways are in set up positions, okay? The sun's in its rotation. It's in calculation codes. You're in your moon graph position locations. That's set up in its division, okay? Your barometers are set up, okay? Even your essential lines are set up through the heart system. And it's at its right portal to its activation line center. So it's connected to all levels. Like I said, when you're in the grounds and you're taking 12 steps outside, you're vortexing every single time it goes around to 12. So as long as you understand, you are the clocking system through everything through calculations, right? You are the calculations. So every time that goes around the clock, you're vortexing. So you have to understand every single time you go to that 12 location, what's going on. You're going through a vortex of time location. You're changing your dimension channel line systems. So the calculation modification is set up to that line system. Truly understand why you are going through dimensional time locations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6-dimensional time through clocking in the center line system. Boom. There you go. Out through equation. All right. So I can see you adjusted your background today in color. Yeah. Well, because you guys see different through perception, but we're all connected to this alignment line system through its rotation, right? So I hope everybody's excited to fly to recognition of time of presence. So this is high forcing channels. We're going to do a little bit of work, okay, because there's a gravity position that's offline system. This shapes anomaly isn't positioned. So the gravity is shifted. So we have to put the gravity back into its conditions. Everything through grounds has its own pistons, okay? So think of it this way. Think about water containment center, okay? Has to have pistons. So the piston fluctuates the interference. So what it does is it circles, and it flushes everything out. But it's on a heat condenser. And that heat condenser keeps it rotating through its atom line system. So it's to understand why we have pistons. Okay, it fluctuates and keeps the bacteria and keeps the water on its flow, recognition of time. So space works on so many levels of plasma of water, and why we use water inside our connections, why we use water outside positions, to understand why we use the pistons. Okay, it's energy rotations of atoms. It keeps the ground line center of its rotation and spins and spins and spins. So it keeps you on the ground locks, but you're all connected to your flux capacitors. You have a gravity lock center to its gravitational belt. It's like we're in a seat belt. Without that seat belt, everybody be floating. Okay, so it's very important to understand why you're connected to Orion's belt. Okay, and everything through the constellation, right? But don't you think it's fascinating? You guys are coming into a new past, right? So the cycle and its communication of its past, of its old past, is finished. So we set up a new past, a new present, a new future for you guys. So you can live the existence of the here and now. Okay. So fresh out of everything, refresh, reanalyze, refocus, readjust, realign. This is going to help humanity a little bit more of understanding and understand everything through its indifference to its difference to its position. That's to truly understand what's going on with your travels and everything through your connections. Right. It's fascinating, isn't it? You have to have a new past because you're coming into 5 dimension, right? Makes sense, right? We can't have a gateway of 3-dimensional line we destroy that all connections. So you guys are in a new position, but this is going to be a lot more confusing, especially if you're not awake. You have to be awake and be aware. Now, the thing is, you come into that position, once you heal through me, then you go into your activations and you go right into the center of its grounds, right? So this understanding the clearing calls of the grounds, the power of the observed locations to understand what's going on with your flux capacitors and interference channels. Everybody's got to come into the line signals to adaptations to the crop system, right? So now you know why we have crop circles set up in all position locations. All right. It's fascinating when you see these things. Makes sense, right? It's incredible force when we come across these things, right? So this is the new setup, okay, for everything, right, through your new alignments, okay? So let's start traveling. Rendezvous connection positions, galactic forces, picking up all locations from buying lines, galactic force connections, light signal rotations, connections coming into the Sumerian line text. Pick them up on the UFO line position location. It's structured already through its connections. Travel recognition of time position to its present line connections, interforce connections. Yeah, go into the gravels and communications lines and its worker location. Set up the crop circles and position line system. Okay, it's high forcing right now. We're going through energy lights, track line system. Now we're on the planet location. All right. So all the clarion calls is already set at positions. Now you're coming into cross intelligence. You're going to see blue light plasma interference, channel position locations of computers. It's sending up all new anomalies to your switch positions. Okay. This is where you have to get into your bar graphs. We'll get into more of that positions, but your barometers and your sectors and all levels of your dimensional positions. This is where you track the line connections, right? So you're forcing your guidance to all program positions to your thought connectors. So right now, basically, we're in the center line system. This is how it's set up through its equation. All right. So this is called the Sumerian lions. All right. Lines in position to an island. All right. So this is Sumerian. It's got 3 line centers to its location. It kind of looks like Jupiter a bit, but the circle rotation has its inner line connections and interference is position locations. All right, so it has its box level system to its TV line system. Now everything has its satellite connections. It interlines its system. So everything has its flux capacitor and interference line connections. That's the Sumerian planet location to its island. That's where everybody is. All right, so all the portal line connections coming in the interline system. So you guys are in your center positions. All right. So we're all coming into, right? So your commander's here. You guys are here in the center line position. Coming into center line positions. Open all track line systems position. So you guys are here. Your commander's here. All right. So your senior commander is right here in position, right? So what we got to do is we got to go back into the ground line system to this location, change the trap systems. Okay, so we're going to change the gravity lines, right? Like this, right? So the circle went position line center is coming in dimensional block system. It's going to get really interesting. So your commander is setting up these line connections, interference of channels. Now this size graphs the system from one to another, from side to side. Okay. Now you guys are in a center line system. Now I want you to hold the sector line connections of interference to a plasma of an interference line system to a wall line connections. So I want you guys to set up the positions. All right. Your center line system, I'm going to help you at the location. So we're going to set the walls. Okay. This is a new track system of a new plasma interference position line connection to its connection. So you guys set up the walls already for the position, right? So everything in the gravity line system, if you can actually look at this position location, so you can see the round position line center. So the particle lights is going to change the rotation of its spins. The spins is going to go around to all around connections of interference channels. So it's going to change its atom and its pistons in its gravity line system. It goes into its location in the center line system. It opens up a new round location to an activation line system to its location. It interchanges position and comes into a new flux capacitor of its position. Okay? All right. So that's where we are through connections. So we got a new setup. All right. It's done through position. See? So you guys have 15 minutes. Enjoy yourself. Now I had to fix these things. It's already done through equation. So let's understand everything that I've done is already done. I'm just showing you what I've done with you guys. So you're working with me that positions, setting up the grounds to a new gravity line system. So 15 minutes, have fun. All right. It's fascinating coming to this position of time. Yeah, it's very familiar with Tesla and why we're in this position. But I'm just showing you how you guys are in the present locations of Sumerian. Okay. So you're on the Sumerian Islands. Have fun. 15 minutes. Enjoy yourself. All right, I'm activated field. I can just background today's color. You red using my fourth clock. It's so exciting. Yes, very fascinating drawing. I'm setting up 2-3 line corners with yellow. Okay. So you're framing your connections. You come into your dispositions first, then you come into your positions of what's going on through traction. So truly understanding why you're setting up a new wall interference to the Sumerian Islands. Okay, because the gravities were off position to its crop circle location. Your commander sets up the sidelines, and you set up the wall interference channel. Okay, so it's set now through its equation, right? 6 red dots here. See, the faster I do it, the better. And the reason why I have to do it in chronological order, okay, is because it's already set up, which means that it's already done. But you're just going through the frame of it's automagnetic system, which means that you're referencing everything that you've seen through its remembering, trying to understand why you're in this position. Why am I seeing this? Why am I doing this? Why does it have any importance in what I'm doing? Right? It does, right? Because you form through AI of its alliance. You have to understand why you're in these connections, why you're setting up a plasma wall to the Sumerian Islands. Okay. Making 2 fiber with new programmed blue lines. Yeah. Knowing what you do in positions. Yeah, it's very fascinating, isn't it, when you come across these things? You come across intelligence, you'll see the islands. Basically, will take you to levels. You'll see everything through its interference. You see the channels. You see the command centers. Every planet has a command center, right? So it's fascinating when you come into the mind traps and communication cycles. It opens up all interference position locations, but we had to change the side graph line system to this crop circle. And you guys set up the plasma of its wall, a new wall. So they're happy for that. They're saying thank you very much. So now you're connected to the Sumerians and its islands, all done through clarion calls. So basically, you can ask for their help now because you're at that level. To understand the positions why we're in that track system, what do you think? You didn't think, going to 50 levels, you would connect with higher levels intelligence, but if you need their help, they can help you now because you're helping them. And that's how real the mind comes to its position because everything is in channel within its line system. Once you understand the ground line system to each planet location, you have to understand its reflection. Then you come into your diagrams and your programs to your imagination. Everybody's got to get out of reflection because that's just an illusory. That's not anything to relation of the mind system. That's adaptation of a various location to its firewall position. So I'm getting 6 new belly hooks. I'm seeing cylinder of water, like measuring devices of water levels. Yeah. Knowing exactly what you're seeing and what you're doing, right? So the intelligence will help you out, right? You can communicate through them, through their minds. So this understand you're in the space-time location of the Sumerian Islands. So I have 1 receiving bowl. Okay, so you have the cylinder of water. You're measuring the devices of water levels. I'm having 1 received bowl. What does that mean? What do you do with it, right? I want to help too. Yeah, hawking connections. Unit formation aligned center. Put the center locations into Hawk and communication. His cycles understand its information line system. Get him to help everything connections to Jill and Isabel and Samantha and Tina. Tina's in command, right? I always have to have a commanding center, right, to all positions. She's in 114, guys. So Chakra, she can help you on all position locations. She's already done her channel line center. She already knows what's going on through the Sumerian Islands because she's already been there. So truly understand everything through the mind system. Once you understand positions, you have to know how powerful it is that you guys are in the center of the presence right now. You're in the center of the presence, okay, to the Sumerian Islands. Do you know how powerful that is? Actually seeing intelligence of the presence. It's just like you being on Earth, but in the fifth dimension of the present location. It's time dislike system, but you're in a high level of the mind system through adaptation. So, so I'm in the whale tunnel. It is yellow, and now I'm pulling the blue line. Yep, I'm making new highways. Okay. So you're coming in that position. Once you understand your connections, then you understand why you're in that frame position in the first place, right? So it's kind of like seeing everybody all in one cycle through one frame, and it's kind of like you're projecting on what you see, right? And everybody sees everybody around. It's like, whoa, am I actually doing this? Yes, you are, right? Why do you think I have a team? What do you think? It was just drawings and illustrations, just meditation? No. When you guys go to higher levels of light, there's a lot of expectations, right? Because you're reaching higher levels of the mind system. Okay. So Isabel's making a new highway. Mm-hmm. It tracks his communication, the line and its position to its islands and its interference position location. All right. So you have to try to understand why we have the size graph since the crop circle set its position, like its connection to its shape. Right. So it's incredible how we connect these positions. All right. So we'll fade off when you guys are done. Plasma interference will put you back in traction and where you are through connections. Your high forcing center line systems to the earth. This position will put you back in your line division to each other. Grounding trees from earth core. I feel like I'm still traveling, entering the eye, seeing tunnels, highways, walks like Stonehenge. Yep. So Cleopatra, you're in a reshifting position location. Samantha set up a very powerful TikTok. I recommend you guys watch her. She's got great connections to Palladium. She'll tell you about the Stonehenge and how it comes into resurface, reline, readjust line conditions. So the Stonehenge is like this in position. All right. Okay, that's a Stonehenge, right? Circle rotation comes in line center, activates everything in the core system, okay? Comes into UFO positions of 2-track line systems, one in the center location, okay? Now, everything connection Samantha was in that line system, trying to understand her connections of her family and its rotation line system, okay? So it's trying to understand the Stonehenge and what it means, right? And why we have a circle rotation. Everything is calculated modified to high levels of the crown circles. A crown circle is truly understand the application line system to positions to all UFO position locations. It's complicated stuff, but it's a lot more fun. Truly understand why you're in this position in the first place, and how everything through a Stonehenge it has always has a center of location. Okay, it's amazing how it tracks the systems at 3 levels of UFO position locations. Right. So it's all about reaching your family. Okay. And that's what you guys are reaching now. Truly understand why you're connected to the Sumerian Islands, because you're all attached to them. So the thing is that inner line connection to everything. You're channeled to all levels of intelligence, guys. You understand your dimensional time of clocks and why you're traveling through regular time positions. Once you channel to locations, you're in the nature core line system. Once you go 12 steps, this is where you go. Your vortex. Every single time that goes around, boom, boom, right? You're always traveling every single time. There's 60 seconds in a minute. Every minute through minute travels you to a high position location, to higher levels of your spiritual guides, to all levels of its base, of its Stonehenge. The central line connections and all of the systems comes into your activation of your 3, 6, and 9 location. Okay? That's how it works. So, all right, ground trees from the earth core. I feel like I'm still traveling, entering the ice. Yep, you're coming into higher levels of filters, tunnels, highways, walls, like Stonehenge. Yep. But now you know the history of Stonehenges and why we have them stand up locations. I'm seeing open waves, crashing lights on shores with lines, Rome shoreline, beautiful atmospheres in a enclosed dome. I've been here. Yeah, see, she knows that. Feels amazing, very peaceful. See, she's more connected because she's got a full communication of light. So she knows why she's already there from its beginning. I'm in a blue light tubing program. Light inner light is bright now. Middle of Stonehenge is like clocking, bouncing bloodlines from earth ground. Yep. I set up a new clock. Yep. Are the triangles there communications? Yes, they are. Use that track system. So Cleopatra, this is where you are through position location. Trying to understand why you're in all these connections. So Cleopatra is in her clock system now, guys. Let's help her out. Let's get her into higher position locations. All right. So trying to understand helping each other. This is where we understand our connections to each other, our system. All right. So she's coming up to her new clock system. Time position to its location. Comes into its own dimensional of its line system. Right. So she has to understand how to connect to her 369 platform locations. Right. So the 12 all level system is jumping 1, 2, 3, right? 3 to the center. Okay, so we go in that connections, right? And then from 3 comes to all levels of 6, okay? So we go 4, 5, 6. 6 goes the application line system to its position, right? And then from 6, okay, you have vortex line connections, all right? Back in divisions of 3 location, right? That clots the system. It takes up the triangle to its division to its activation line system. Okay. So it's true understanding why are in these connections, why you're vortexing every single time you're on the grounds. So this is where you have to become more aware, right? Because trees communicate with everything. They communicate with everything. I mean, you're supposed to communicate with everything, but you have to understand why we have positions of stone hedges and why they're in-track systems of communication, right? Center of everything, guys. Center of everything. Everything's operated through the center of everything. Okay, truly understanding your clocking system to its positions. All right. Okay, yes, triangles are your communications. Your triangles are communications to your pyramids. You understand the inner surface and the outer surface position locations. All right. New moon and sun is set up. Baseline is blue now. Yep. So you know exactly what you're doing. And that's the whole point of trying to get across here. When you guys understand more of the Sumerian islands, you get a better understanding why you're doing these things. It's not just, oh, this is a vacay. Hey, I'm on a planet. This is great, it's all about understanding why you're there in the first place. Because remember, this is higher levels of the mind, but you guys are in the position of its presence, which is fantastic. So it's just high channeling up into the present line system. If you go in the future, you have to change your timelines. You have to change your frames. You have to change all levels or angles of triangles and your pyramid location centers. The UFO has to know where you're going, right? Because they're watching you. They're observing you. They communicate with you every single day. So wherever you go, the sun follows and the moon. It tracks the system, it comes in its communication. The sun is a portal location, which comes all levels of UFO line system. Okay, to track communication cycles and its digital frame position, right? So the sun can be anything through shape. That's what the sun is. Okay, the sun can be anything through shape. And the moon can be anything through program. You understand now? Is people understanding now why we're in this calculation modifications, how it aligns its connections to positions? Your center line connection is everything through its channel line system. It comes into its flux capacitor of its position location. Okay? That's the I-line center. That's where I am through location. Enter its positions, comes into, you know what it is, Orion's belt. Okay? Now this is all structure on your face. You just have to understand how to use it. Here's your ears. You understand what's going on now? So basically, this is the connection to your nose. There's the triangle line system. Okay, there's the mouth, and there's the base. You see the face structure? See how it's coming in line system? So once you come into that positions, you come into your eye circles of its location. You see the intelligence? So this is trying to understanding where I am in position, right? Right, you see the intelligence, right? Now it comes into its eye circle rotation line connection. There you go. Intelligence through position. That's me through equation. Trying to understand how to operate everything through connection positions. All level systems to here, Orion's belt, ground line system, base locations to its position. You got your ears, your audio signal locations. Your eye channels its position to its line system, to its position line system location. Here's the intelligence through its rotation. Now, truly understand why we're all connected to that position in the first place, right? So the eye line signals to everything through the connections of the moon and everything through the connections of the sun rotation line system. Okay? Tracks its communication cycles, open its all level system to its rotation, and you just live the center position of everything through calculation, which becomes your magnetic highway of information cycle. Now, it traps its communication, comes interline center to all levels of the brainwave pattern. It opens up all levels of your eye interference channels. Okay? When it comes down to the nose of its connection, comes into your diamond core line center, goes into higher positions into your ground line center to its location. There it is, the equation. That's where everybody is once you go to higher levels of the mind system. Truly understand the electrical light and its communications to its grounds, its power, and the axis location line system. Now, when it opens up track systems, you come into your third eye location. There's your third eye right there. Okay? That's how it works every single day, 3 years. Now, the sonar comes into location. Sonar channels like this, out through positions. Hooah! Mind-blowing, isn't it? Let's see. Sumerians are waving us. Yep. It's very weird, but the clock doesn't need numbers right now. No, because it's spinning through diamond cores and spinning through your shape position locations to a high-level system to your line center. Both stairs are down now. My mind makes a Z from feeling makes S. Seeing what seems like wormholes and also flat surfaces, blue rings illuminating around it, the tube traveling through. Also seeing blue stone statue type. Mm-hmm. So you come in more informations to your Palladians and your plotting conditions of your family. There's nothing. But it's incredible as you build intelligence over jar through location. But you see the intelligence, right? That's how everything's operated. It's the mind system. This is the structure, recognition of the face, guys. This is not the body. See, you have to understand everything through calculation, how everything modifies all level systems to division line system to its computer positions. All right? So, yeah. Chain keys, yeah. The sky is yellow, pink ocean is calm, ignition of a car, I can hear it going, fields and tracks of triangles and pyramids, yeah. So you're connected to all fields and your tracks of triangles and pyramids, so you're activating your magnetic line system. The moon program and its connection is high force into your ground line system. The sun's inner graphing position locations, right, to your radiation and heat sensors. Motion sensors. There's electrical light sensors, communication cycles, all connected to your third eye and specific track system. So, yeah, we are voicing it out now. Mm-hmm. Yep, everything you do is healing. But I think it's very powerful when you come into the structure lines of your face, don't you think? Just set up the line conditions, enter the position line system to its location. You can see it though, right? How it's all set up. So, your digital play TV screen is pixelating. Yeah, because it's high force centered now. Yeah. See, the thing is, everything that's connected to my digital frame line center to all my iPads or my computer line system, it's all connections because we're in the present line system, so you'll see everything pixelated. And it's an interference channel line system to its location. So, power of grids, pyramid activation lines, all in our minds. Yeah, it's not just in your minds. You're seeing it through its presence. It's real. This is not a dream. This is real. Because you're in the center line of your soul, right? You have to learn how to use the electrical lights and its communications and everything through structure lines all levels of your face recognition and how to use this. This is how it's all done, guys, every single day. It tracks your connections. This is just the structures of the face, but then you come into the body track system. So all levels of the grounds of humanity has to understand the three compartments, right? Before they get into the new past, the new present, and the new future of its constellation. So it's really interesting to come in these track systems, eh? But everything you're doing in the mind, Isabel, is in the presence now. So you're communicating with intelligence in the presence, not in the past, not in the future, in the presence of the now. So basically, there is space and there is time. There is a place, there is a location, and there is an age. That's how powerful space-time is. Right? So, yes, a lot of questions here. It's great to see all of your imagination is coming true to source. So let's see, I'm just going to backphrase here, see if I missed anything. Yeah, let's see. Yep, I got all caught up. I just want to make sure you guys are connecting to the right signal line center. And see, it's more beautiful when you're connecting to why you're in this position in the first place. It all connects to your teleportation, your telewaving, telegraphing, and all levels of communication to each other, and to the Sumerian islands. That's connections. So powerful, isn't it? It will fade off and it'll put you back in your location center line system, right? So you can center off and say goodbye to the Sumerians. So now you're connected to them, okay? And they're connected to you now. That's how it works. All right? That's how it works. All right? So then the more higher it rise you go, they know exactly where you are through light and what you can do by fixing things, right? So it's all about understanding how the universal system works. How does it work? Right? And this is where it comes into higher volumes of intelligence, where you can basically see them in any way and form, any position of time, location, past, present, or future. Right? So that was fun, eh? It was great to see you guys in that positions. I can see the control panels showing water levels and electromagnetic system. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes clear to you, right, while you're in that connection. I'm understanding the tattoo on face. Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's the thing. We have to come more across why we use these things all through hydraulics, line system, electronics, magnetics, force line connection, to understand why we use this, all levels of track systems of communication. Okay? So, Aboriginals, yeah. Big gratitude. Mm-hmm. See, it's all about you communicating with other intelligence, other forms of intelligence, communications, how to high rise your line center to its connections. All right? Yeah, see, you're full in tears because you're actually there. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of adaptation line system of mind interference. I really want to get into this positions because you guys have to understand more your telepathy line system. Mind/interference. Okay. Interference. So interlining. Mind interlining. Okay. So mind interlining is the shape line center to its location. What did I just draw? What did I just draw? Interline the connections, the mechanism of travel connections. Think of you through all positions. Try to understand how to travel through these connections. What does everybody see? Align with the circle. Nope. Nope. And this is where you have to understand, this is the interference. This is the mind interference when you come across another UFO that sends you information and you just got back from another planet location to Sumerian Islands. Another one comes at you. Another one comes at you. This is mind interference of shape line system. They're sending you a shape. You have to know exactly what it is. You can't send out wrong shapes because it goes into the crop circle line condition to its grounds. So, Ms. Bitta? One. Very good. All right.
¿Cuánto me cobra?
Yeah, so it's all connected to the triangle. So everybody get that inner surface to the position location. How we get into that position. But that's it. It's a triangle. See? No thought process. You know exactly what it is. So if a planet line comes into connections, interlines its position to its interference position, right? This means you have to understand the shape. So it's like disruption. If somebody's coming in, another person's coming in, another person's coming in. So you have to understand mind interruption to its interference channel, to its shape location. Very good, Hawk. It's a triangle, right? So let's do one more. All right. Okay, what is it? Okay. No, it's not a star. Remember, you're getting distraction line signals that might select the position locations to a UFO line center, setting your shape. What is it? Try to be specific on the lines. It could be a straight line, it could be a waving line, it could be a cross line, an interference line, a rotation position, a line interference connection line, rectangular dot. Nope, it's not a Z. You have to find your connections of what's going on through traction. I have to go meditate, paint. I'll see you later. Okay, great. Excellent method. Nope, it's a flag interference. Flag interference. See? Then you just line signal to location. It's a flag. Flag interference. See, you have to be specific with the lines. So if it's like this, this is a square, right? That's a square, but detailed. It's off a bit. It's off a bit, right? So you can't travel. So you have to understand how to set these things to its equation to its line position, right? So you have to fix the line at the bottom. You can't send this information. This is detail. This is attention to detail to UFO line system. Has to truly understand what it's doing through calculation. It centers up its position location, high positions to a higher level of its direction line system. Like that through location, right? So you send that, right? So it's amazing how you have to connect with all your shapes and what you're drawing to position. Overlap, you come into a cube line center. Okay, so you can go into circle rotation, come to flag interference, go into circle rotation. Everything has to go back in the center. So when you go to focus, don't focus on the obvious. Focus on what you want to focus on, which is a high force in position to a shape position. And you come into the center of everything through line systems with location. So you go from here to here to here, right? This is channeling information to communication of graphs to digital line centers to data. Now to set the data to another point center, and that's how you travel to these positions. The XT1000 comes in and up in this portal. It scans its information cycle, right? And basically it takes it away to its location, right? It takes it away, right? It picks it up. Okay, it sends it back to the sun, right? So it doesn't go in the same portal. It goes into another portal on the other side line system. Travels through its location. So it's understanding how you're using your shapes and how to pick up all levels of interference, right? Mind interference of disruption to communications of shapes. So it tracks its systems, right? So you got to be very cautious in what you're drawing and why it's all done to that line system. Now, can you travel through that position? Is it set up? Is it ready to go? No. It's slicing lines of open, open, open. You can't travel through that and send it to a UFO. So you got to make sure that it's attached and always informs to position. It's very important to understand these things. I had to go through this, and I was sending things out, and it's coming back at me. It says, reline position line centers back in location, please. See? So when you're standing center location, it goes into all level systems to its rotation, to its connection. Interlocks its position to higher level system, to its dimension line system. So it's all about structuring line connections and interference channels. It's all about shaping, positioning, universal positioning locations. You can go back in the center line system. Once you understand your past, your present, your future line system, you come into dimension, or you come into a cyclone of information cycle to its location, right? So it's all about understanding how to use the calculation modifications to all levels of a plasma interference of a web graph line system to its location. How it channels to high-level systems to its modification circle, right? See how it goes into higher positions? It's all about taking things out of interference channel line system. Everything comes into a TV reception around location, right? Door recognition of time location traps its connection of its inner line system, its position, okay? So it's trying to understand all these positions, all right? Questions or comments, let me know. I'm going to head over to TikTok. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. It's fantastic seeing everybody travel through the Sumerian Islands. Adios.